Good day, Angie McLeod here from HIP Strategic Consulting, and I am very glad that you could join us. Today, I want to speak about why it's important to take stock of our accomplishments, and in turn, to understand what the strengths are that we bring to our businesses. As women entrepreneurs, we rarely take a moment. We rarely pause to look back and say, what have we actually accomplished? What have we done within our business? And I think sometimes that we need to do that more often, because I think sometimes we just go, oh, yep, that's done. Let's move on. And yet it is extremely important that we pause to think about it, because if we can pause and think about things and think about what we've done, we can find ways to build on that foundation. So today I want to talk about three things. First, I want to pose some questions that I think will help you understand what are your strengths and your accomplishments, and help you delve into that a little bit. And I'm going to invite you to spend some time working on that. The second thing I want to do is to explore some examples of what would happen if we built our company based on strengths or built our company based on opportunities that arose. So there's two different options there we'll look at. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is how do we build that foundation, that really strong foundation based on our accomplishments and our strengths, and use that to propel our business forward. And so let's get started. So I spoke a little bit about posing some questions about identifying your strengths and your accomplishments. And I'm a firm believer in the strategic planning model called SOAR. And basically SOAR stands for strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and results. And what I love about this planning model is it's very appreciative inquiry based. So it looks at what's good. It looks at where are the things that we can build on in a positive way. And for me, when I'm looking at growing my business, I don't want to spend all my time focusing on what's not working. I want to spend my time focusing on what is working. And that's where accomplishments and strengths come in, and it becomes really, really important. So the first question I want you to write down, and I want you to spend some time pondering when we're finished this session, is what are you most proud of having accomplished in your company or in your business or in your life potentially? Now your answers might be something as simple as, hey, you know what? I got out of bed this morning, or I made a phone call, or I followed up with a client, or I had that candid discussion I needed to have with a staff member. Those are all great accomplishments. Or it might be as large as, hey, I closed that $100,000 deal. Whatever your accomplishment, I want you to write it down, big or small. It doesn't matter what anyone else would think of that accomplishment. It matters, did it require you to do something that you didn't necessarily think you could do? Did you have to stretch to get to where you got to? Is it something you're proud of having done? So the second part of this equation, of this questioning process, is then once you've looked at and listed your accomplishments, I want you to take a moment and I want you to look into what are the strengths reflected in those accomplishments. So take those accomplishments and break them down. So if I landed a contract, what did it require me to do in order to land that contract? So I had to negotiate, I had to do the sales process, I had to follow through, I had to get my thinking right, and I had to make sure that I presented myself in such a way that the person wanted to contract with me. Whatever your accomplishment is, I want you to break it down into those smaller pieces. Those are the strengths that you can build on. So seeing the big picture of this is what I'm able to do, and the smaller details of this is what it took to do that is really important. So that's the first part I wanted to talk about. The second part that I wanted to talk about today is how do we build our business on a strong foundation? So really in life, when we're running our business, we have different opportunities that come to us. And as opportunities come to us, we have a choice to make. We can choose to go after every opportunity that comes our way and say, well, this is a great opportunity right now. It's going to drive some income and some revenues, and it's going to help me grow my business. But it may not fit with the long-term strategic vision. It may not build on your strengths specifically. And if we choose this route, that's fine. And we may find ourselves choosing this opportunity here and this opportunity here and this opportunity here. And we're doing this zigzag. And we might be driving revenue growth. The question that I would have, though, is are we actually driving personal and professional growth? Are we happy with what we're doing? I would question if you're doing the zigzag path and just following the opportunities as they arise, whether or not you're bringing joy to your work, whether you're focusing on that vision that you're working to achieve, whether that's your dream lifestyle, or that's this, I want to achieve these kinds of results for my clients, whatever that is, are you, by going from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity without any sort of analysis, are you actually getting to where you want to go? So I think that there's always that question that you need to ask. The second option that you have is to take a look at opportunities as they come up and always be asking yourself some questions. You know me, I'm all about the questions. So the first question I would probably ask is, does this drive me towards my vision for my company and for my life? If it does, great. If it doesn't, then you need to look at it and say, is this really a good fit for what I want to do? The second question I would ask is, does it build on my strengths and my accomplishments? Can I use this to continue to grow and snowball the work that I'm doing? If not, again, you need to say, is it the right opportunity? If it's not, you need to let it go. Now, that may mean that your growth is steadier. It's not a really fast growth. It might be more like this, but it's likely more sustainable. And the third piece about, really building on that solid foundation of strengths and accomplishments is, does this particular opportunity bring me joy? I'm all about having a business that not only fulfills my financial needs, but it also brings me joy. That I'm doing work that I enjoy doing and that I'm working with people that I love working with. And everyone's values are different, but for me, those are core components of looking at opportunities and saying, is it building on my strengths? Is it building on the things that I want to build on? So again, when you're thinking about the opportunities that are arising, I want you to think about, does this build on my strengths? Does it allow me to achieve the things that I want to achieve, to have accomplishments I'm really proud of? If it doesn't, you need to consider whether it's the right opportunity. Now, the third thing I wanted to just point out is that when we are doing things that we enjoy, that build on our strengths, and that lead us to a sense of pride, something changes within us. When we're doing stuff that really makes us happy, that brings us joy, all of a sudden our passion arises. We become enthusiastic. We get a different glow. And that attracts people to us. So when we're doing the work that we're meant to do, when we're doing the work that builds on our strengths and on our accomplishments, it's essential that we recognize that that's going to help propel us. That's going to help us attract new people. That's going to help us grow our business. And if we're doing it right, if we're being strategic about the choosing opportunities that are going to help us move forward based on our strengths and our accomplishments, then we will certainly be showing off that enthusiasm and that passion for what we do and be pulling people towards us. So just to wrap things up, I want you to always be thinking about, what are my strengths and what are my accomplishments? And regularly take some time to actually assess that. To look at, what am I most proud of having done? What has brought me the most joy? What are the strengths that I can build on? To make sure that when you're making choices between opportunities, that you're always assessing, does this move me towards my ideal vision for my company? Does it build on my strengths and my accomplishments? Is it going to help me snowball my impact? And the third thing is that, remember, when we're doing work that we truly enjoy, we have a different glow. And people are attracted to that. We have an energy that people want to catch. And I think that's really, really important for us to remember, that have an energy that others want to catch by doing work that you love and that builds on your strengths and allows you to accomplish and achieve what it is you want to achieve. I hope you found this valuable and that you'll take a couple minutes for yourself to ponder the questions that I've posed. And if you have any questions, please do give me a call. I'll include my contact information on the next slide. In the meantime, have a great day and we'll chat with you soon.